In this episode of Hidden Chronicles, we continue our deep dive into the femininity of the heavens and the earth. We are tracing the profound history of women and language, uncovering the roots of a massive systemic revolution against femininity, a transformation that reshaped humanity over a millennium. Let us explore the next chapter of this untold history.
Archaeological records reveal a prehistoric reality that differs sharply from our modern world. Long before the historical empires we recognize today, ancient matriarchal societies shaped human existence. These matriarchal cultures engaged in a 1,000-year struggle for survival, as an emerging patriarchal system gradually began to take root and exert dominance. In the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras, the human understanding of cosmic power was centered on a feminine essence. This great mother of the universe was the primary divine force across the ancient world. Societies expressed their reverence through an emphasis on beauty and earthly adornment. These deities were often depicted in a state of grace, surrounded by flowers and symbols of abundance. These beliefs formed the foundational worldview of early human civilization, existing for tens of thousands of years before the emergence of modern patriarchal religions. This concept of a singular Great Mother appeared independently across distinct, globally separated environments, taking on different names while maintaining the same core essence. The Sumerians knew her as Inanna, the Egyptians as Isis, the Greeks as Demeter, and in the Arabian Peninsula, she was worshipped as Al-Lat. This photographic evidence shows how pervasive this belief was. Sculptors across these cultures consistently produced figurines that emphasized pregnancy and the physical capacity to sustain life. Ancient societies drew a direct parallel between the biological power of women and the fertile properties of the earth itself. Both were seen as primary sources of life and nourishment. By equating human fertility with Mother Nature, the female form became the central symbol of creation in the minds of early humans. This great goddess was often referred to as the Lady of Nature, a figure who taught humanity the tasks necessary for daily survival. On a mythological level, this relief from Egypt illustrates her role as the Lady of Bread. Notice the bundles of wheat she holds, artistic evidence that frequently linked feminine deities to the harvest. This mythology likely reflects the division of labor in early societies. Because gathering fruit and wild grain was a female responsibility, women were the ones spending long periods observing the cycles of growth in the fields. Observation led to mimicry. After seeing wild seeds fall in autumn and grow in the spring, women began deliberately burying handfuls of wheat, initiating the transition from gathering to active agriculture. This reverence for the feminine extended to the cosmos. In the Arabian Peninsula, the sun was referred to as the goddess, and celestial bodies like Sirius and the Pleiades were perceived as female. Societies viewed this shift toward agriculture as a physical manifestation of the same creative power they worshipped in their goddesses, linking the birth of civilization to female labor. The reliance on wild wheat led to the establishment of the first permanent human villages in natural Syria, marking the beginning of stable inhabited communities. In the 6th millennium BCE, these populations moved toward Mesopotamia, where they began building the first sophisticated cities in human history. This cuneiform tablet represents the technological explosion that followed. By the 4th millennium BCE, Sumerian society had devised mathematics, administrative systems, and the world's first writing. These breakthroughs spread outward from this central hub. The lines of influence moved toward the Nile Valley, the Indus Valley, and China, eventually reaching as far as Central America. This means the bedrock of global society, from written language to the wheel, emerged in a region that had been defined by the worship of feminine deities for thousands of years. Elements of this system remained until relatively recently. As recently as 1400 years ago, Arabs still believed angels were female and maintained the worship of goddesses alongside newer male deities. How did the religious and political landscape eventually shift toward absolute masculine control? The move toward patriarchy involved a systematic effort to masculinize aspects of language and culture that were inherently feminine. This transition is visible in the work of Ibn Mujahid, a preeminent scholar of Quranic readings who addressed linguistic ambiguities. He directed that if a reader was in doubt whether a letter was feminine or masculine, they must choose the masculine. He justified this with a deeply subjective claim, for the Quran is masculine. This directive had no foundational theological or linguistic evidence. It was an imposition based on the patriarchal mindset of the time. When the unalterable Word of God is interpreted through a strictly masculine lens, it signals a broader shift in how history is recorded. If even the divine was masculinized by decree, the contributions of the women who established the first villages were easily obscured from the historical record.